Bonjour, bonjour. Today is day 4 of my own personal 18 days live video challenge, and today I have a question for you. What were your early experiences of learning like? I'm asking because the first experiences that we had of learning, either learning a special topic or learning in general, affect how we perceive learning to these days, and also they affect our chances of success. So please take a moment to reflect. What were your first experiences of learning, and if you've learned French before, what were your experiences like? Was they empowering or disempowering? To give you just an example, I recently met a young man who had taken both French and Spanish at school. And this man told me how he felt about both languages, and it turns out he had them both at school. It was a pretty similar context, but his feelings about each language were very different. For him, Spanish was a freedom language because the teacher had been very nice, very empowering, and very encouraging. And also, he associated Spanish with upbeat music and dancing, which he liked. So for him, Spanish had this very good, positive vibe about it. On the other hand, French didn't have such a positive vibe for him because the teacher had very much insisted on grammar rules and exceptions of the exceptions, and he had got the impression that no matter how hard he tried to speak French and to get it right, he would never be able to learn everything and know all the rules and all the exceptions, and he would never be able to get it right. So he had a much more disempowered feeling around French. And what makes me sad is that this seems to really be a general pattern. There are lots of people out there who have had pretty bad experiences with French teachers because I was just saying there are a lot of people out there who have had pretty bad experiences with French learning because French teachers just have this habit of making the language appear difficult, which teachers of other languages just don't. And I can tell you because I have also learned Spanish, in fact I have learned Spanish in France, and the people who taught me Spanish were French. And they very much insisted also on the rules and the exceptions of the Spanish language. And I can tell you the Spanish grammar is just as difficult as French grammar. It's all full of exceptions, full of weird conjugations and verbs, and you name it. And because I had been taught Spanish kind of the French way, with this insistence on grammar and exceptions, when I was at school, I didn't like Spanish very much. I came to enjoy Spanish and speaking Spanish later as I practiced with native speakers and I met people from Spain and other Spanish-speaking countries, and then I came to enjoy Spanish because it was a different context. So if you have had a similar experience, if you have had the experience of a teacher just making you feel bad about your learning ability because they just present the language in a way that's not enjoyable and that just make you feel embarrassed or ashamed, I have a request for you. Please do yourself a favor and just forgive this experience. In fact, I would really appreciate if you share your experience in the comment as a way to just let it go and know that there is another way. It doesn't have to be this way, it can be different. There are better, easier ways to learn French. In fact, I have just finished the content of my free live class. It's 20 pages on paper, and I don't think I've used the word exception even once. Not at all. And in this live class, I will give you 3 keys to learn French. Those are the big principles that you have to know in order to be able to learn French. And it has nothing to do with grammar rules and all the exceptions or whatever. Nothing. So you know for a fact that it can be different, and it will be my greatest pleasure to share with you the way that I help my clients and my students learn French during this live class. It's over at frenchfluency.net/formula. It will be exactly 1 week from now, 1 week and 2 hours and a half to be specific. So a little bit later in the day than right now. It's over at frenchfluency.net/formula. You have the link in the description And there are already 95 people registered for this live class. I am so excited to be able to speak to all these people and share my formula, my magic formula, share just my keys to learn French fast. It's 3 principles that you can always apply to your case, and you will be able to learn French faster with these, I can promise you. So you have the link in the description. Please share your experience of French learning in the comments so we can all kiss it goodbye. I mean, if it's a bad experience. If you have had a great experience, you can also share it and it will inspire us. Yes, I think that's it for today. I will be back tomorrow with another topic of discussion. In the meantime, please go sign up for the live class. I would be really honored to be able to teach you live next Thursday. It's just 1 week from now. And if you have friends who want to learn French or who have had a bad experience with French in the past and who just wish it would be different, now is their chance. Please give them the link and invite them. I really want to share this with as many people as possible because it can change your life. Literally. Now you have a life where you don't speak French, and it can give you a life where you do speak French. And depending on where you live or your own situation, it can be useful, you know. But I don't have to tell you that because you know it. You know if French would be useful to you. You know if you're sometimes in a situation where you're speaking French to people, or more like people are speaking French around you and you get a little bit embarrassed because you can't participate, and sometimes maybe it's your own family or your in-laws. You know if you have that, I don't have to tell you. But what I can tell you is, yeah, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to stick to the exception of the exception bad experience you had. You don't have to. There is a live class. It will be next week, and I will be really happy to share with you just how you can do it fast, easy, and fun, because it doesn't have to be that hard. All right, I've been rambling a little bit much already today, so I'm saying you goodbye. Please share your experience in the comment. Please say hi, and I will be back tomorrow. Goodbye. Au revoir.